Hello and welcome to the Juniper Vale. I'm doing a live pop up because I wanted to make a video and I had time. Usually I'm at work, but I was sick last night and I would not have been able to make it into work. And I'm finally feeling better. So here I am. So I want to do some political tarot stuff. Just do some readings on craziness that has happened over the past weekend, what's in store for the future. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. I don't do too many lives by myself, so still getting used to it, but I'll try to keep my eye on the chat just to see if anybody pops in. If not, that's okay because I make this video so you could always watch it later on to see the replay. So if you're here for the replay, thank you. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Leave comments. Again, just a reminder for people, if there's anything like specific, I guess, politically or, within the world or, things that are in the news that you would like me to read on, please leave me a comment or post something on my community page. Always looking for ideas. So I think the first thing I'm going to read on is just a general look into the United States and within the next 3 months. I'll probably do a 6-card spread. Oh, hey, Jackie. I see you. And then with my favorite, I think this has become my favorite deck. I just love it. I like that I can do panoramas with this deck. So I would definitely say if anybody wanted to look into it, definitely do so. It's by Eric Mail. I think the Maile, I've also seen it with 2 L's. So you might need to look it up with 2 L's. This might actually be a typo on here. But he has a, what do you call it? A Patreon as well. He has other decks. So this one is called the Endless Tarot. He also has an Endless Oracle. I need to get that. May 2026 read on the USA. Yeah, that's a good one. It is a very nice deck, Jackie. And it's also very soft. So I guess, I don't know if this is linen, what they call it, like a linen finish or something, but it's very soft and it's really nice. And it doesn't get much glare from the cameras and from the lights. So that's always good. Very easy to shuffle. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. I had to print that out because I always would forget. So now if it's always staring at me in the face, I remember. All right. So let's read on for the USA for May. I usually do a 5 or a 6 spread with these cards. I think I'll do a 6. If I needed a little more for clarification, I always can, right? No actual rules here. We just do whatever we want. No rules. Okay, so let's see. I got the Queen of Cups. I get this card a lot with the United States. The 4 of Swords. The Chariot. The Knight of Cups. Lots of cups. Knight of Pentacles. And the Tower card. Oh, it's always fun to get the Tower card. So already looking at it, I could see a lot of different things that are kind of coming out to me here. The neat things with these panorama decks is that you're really looking at which way the people are looking, which way they're traveling. If there's water, is the water going into another card? And just kind of seeing how they interact with each other. And when you read it as a panorama, you don't have to read it in order because you could also move the cards around if you want to see how they fit in, if you'd like. but it doesn't have to be read in order. You could if you wanted to. You can read it as a sequence. It's actually that both ways are actually in the little guidebook that we have for it. And then the guidebook also gives you like some kind of like tips for when you read it as a panorama, how the card may interact with other cards. There's also creative notes. So it's nice. I like reading it like that. The tower card explains a lot. Yes, it does. What's cool about this tarot card with the tower in this deck is you see all these forest animals like running, right? They are on their way out. Birds, deer. The tower is on fire like usual and probably falling apart as we speak, looking at it there. So it's a nice card. Um, the Queen of Cups card in this deck is really neat because she's shown as kind of like serpent eyes. So sometimes that means something specific to me when it comes to certain readings. She's kind of like a mermaid. She's also putting the fish in the water, so that also will mean certain things to me as well, depending upon the rest of the cards. So we have, let's see, we have two cups, we have two major arcana, we have a sword and a pentacle. The four sword card here, we see a knight, and he's kind of resting in a way. He's resting in front of this statue that has the cards. He's not really, he's kind of like in reverence of the statue, right? He's like leaning in front of the swords. Fours do talk about those kind of, if you have a plan, sometimes fours are like that, including like foundations, things like that. And those swords are those like difficult times. But it's also interesting. I always find it interesting that swords are also talk about health conditions and physical capabilities. So I always have to keep that in mind as well. The chariot is that movement. So it's either changes, you could think of it as somebody fleeing, you could think of it as somebody arriving, you could think of it as change happening. So that's always interesting about the chariot. This one has I always wondered if the white bird up top meant anything specific because it was white. Because some of the birds here are also white. I could also think about how do these two cards work together since they both have those birds in it. These birds are flying away from us. Along with the chariot, these birds are leaving the tower. So is there a connection there? We can also think with that. This Knight of Cups, we have Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups. This card's kind of cute because it has those little yellow birds up top sitting there. Knights are about messengers, goal accomplishment, and knowing your path and what to get in with it. With the cups, when we talk about social relationships, culture, comfort, intuition, love, romance, when I see this knight with it, I feel like since it's also intuitive, the cups, this is kind of like a knight who he's not on the horse, so he's not like charging forward, but he has an idea of what he wants to do. He has that plan, but he's not in a hurry to get things done. The Knight of Pentacles, on the horse, but also not really in a hurry. They usually are like holding that pentacle, kind of admiring it, but also kind of keeping it safe. So pentacles can be about business, career, protection, money. Oh, did I say swords were about health conditions? I meant to say pentacles. I got swords and pentacles confused in my brain. So pentacles are about that business, career, protection, health conditions, finances, business. And then swords are about those difficult situations. But they can also be spiritual pain rather than physical pain. That's always something that I have to remember. Like even though it's a sword and you kind of can think about it to going along with like a physical pain. It's not. It is more of a spiritual pain. Pentacles can have those physical kind of capabilities as well. So let's see. Tower. Tower card. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So what I see here is sometimes with these readings, when I'm reading about the US, is I'm wondering if the Queen of Cups actually stands for somebody specific. And there are times in the readings where I think she does, other times I'm not too sure. This Queen of Cups, queens are about wisdom. They have developed skills, right? They are leadership, and then what we would consider to be feminine qualities of leadership. That's why I usually think of it as a female that's within leadership, but doesn't always have to be female. Because she also has that mother image. So when I first read this, I'm thinking, is there somebody that's going to be coming out within the United States that has that female intuition that we see as a strong leader? Is she going to be making her words known? She's looking at the Four of Swords, and she's also kind of like feeding the water in a sense that she's adding something to that water. So she'll be adding some type of fish. So it's like some type of intuition into, I want to say, the people, or at least some kind of emotion, some kind of comfort to people. The Four of Swords, she's seeing the Four of Swords. She's seeing somebody who is, I don't want to say they're relaxing, because it doesn't come across to me that they're relaxed. It comes across to me that this is somebody who is resting from battle, right? We have swords. This person is looking at this knight, but it's not a card. It's not a knight card, right? So I feel like when I look at this and I look at this, she's looking at somebody who is exhausted. She's looking at somebody who has gone through some difficult situations. This is somebody who is looking for help, and she's looking over them and she wants to give them that assistance. So that's how I see these two cards like playing off of each other. Yeah, I can see what you mean, Jackie, with the the divine feminine energy eyeing the US current situation, and looking at Four of Swords. This didn't happen how I wanted. I can see that as well. Um, so there is movement going on. I don't see the Queen of Cups and the Swords as being this person that's doing the movement. They're kind of moving away. They're dressed in black, which is interesting. Um, and they're kind of leaving. And I kind of see this as more people abandoning the administration, the current administration. I see this night as the people of the US who are just kind of exhausted. And I see this Queen of Cups as somebody that can help bring together the people in a way. It's almost like a Kamala card, or another kind of figure that will fight for the people and kind of put in her 2 cents to try to give people that feeling of support. The Knight of Cups is kind of like another messenger that has that good intuition or is coming with comfort. So I think somebody will be also, say, more along the side, who's on the side of the Queen of Cups, um, is getting ready to sort of bring in more comfort to the people. I also kind of see the chariot. You see how it's moving away from the Knight of Cups. They're kind of running from whoever this person is, or whoever this group of people are, right? That have a message. This person also has a message, not looking at us. This person who is concerned about money is not looking at us. This person who is concerned with comfort, intuition, social relationships is looking at us. So I see this Knight of Pentacles more like going along with the Chariot. They're kind of getting ready to flee in a way. So you could think of this as like big money people. They have their backs on us, the same as the administration kind of has their backs on us. And then we see the Tower. So the way this is kind of like pulling this all together in my mind is that, there is this, of course, we can always say things like the Chariot can mean like trafficking, can mean like things like the e-files. So um, that's why I associate this with the current administration. I feel like what it's saying is that here we are, the little tiny people. We feel like we are being looked down upon by this person holding the sword. We're tired. Queen of Cups sees this. She's going to give us some type of support, right? She's putting some type of support into our ocean of emotion and intuition, and she's adding comfort. The Knight of Cups is also there. He's going to be coming with a message to assist us. You see how the birds are sitting with him, and then we have other birds that are fleeing, and then we have these birds that are fleeing. So, but these birds here are sitting comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I can't, for some reason, say that word right now. They're very comfortable. The Knight of Pentacles is another knight who he's going to go along with the Chariot because they're facing in that same direction. He's not yet on the run, but he's still kind of sticking around because he still wants the money. This could be like big tech, big corporations, oligarchs. They haven't left yet. I don't think they are going to leave, but I think the administration is kind of retreating in a way. But they're not for the American people. And I think all in all, this is going to cause a major change. Something is going to collapse. I think it's going to be, I think the administration is going to just keep on kind of collapsing as it is right now because there's just so much going on. And I mean, I think that's we're going to see more of. In May, we're going to see more people coming to the defense of the American people. We're going to see a further retreat of the administration and the oligarchs or the big tech or whoever has all the money. They're still not working for us. They're still doing whatever it is that they want to do. But I think we're going to get some like backup. So I see that that's what's going to be coming for May. I just think it's like a slow process. I mean, it's nothing that's going to happen quickly, but it might be better that way that it's slow. Or I think that's just how it is. We all want relief as much as possible, but I just think it's going to take a while. Yeah, I see Jackie said masculine energy that F the country and the divine feminine needs to come in power to balance this out. And yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. The Chariot and the Knight of Cups trying to get as much as possible and act like they were not involved. Yeah, I could see, or the Knight of Pentacles acting like, yeah, nothing to see here. I don't know what you're talking about. And Chariot's already, he looks at the Chariot and he's like, oh, wait, where are you going? You're already all the way down there. Are you abandoning me? So we'll see. We'll see. Well, maybe the administration will start abandoning the money people, and they'll be like, "Well, where are you going? Why? Where were you going so fast? That's not cool." So I think. So thank you, Jackie. I think you had good points. I think that's an interesting reading. Let's see. I also kind of want to read like the craziness that happened over this weekend. Um, my first thought on hearing it was, I guess the best way I can say it is that because of the nonsense of the administration, I'm just very jaded. So anything big that happens that would normally be like a really big deal, this is happening. It should be all over the news. There's just this jaded quality, and it's just like probably wasn't even real. Like, the Trump ran on this whole nonsense of fake news. So everyone's become very jaded about what's real, what's not real. And then we have AI everywhere, and this could be AI, that could be AI. You have to really understand how to um, analyze videos, analyze pictures, understand what is true, what isn't true. The same as we had to analyze news organizations, understand what's fake, what's not fake. Um, the same as when you're writing a term paper and you can only use sources that are accurate. You got to learn how to figure out what's an accurate source, what's not an accurate source. Um, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting to have to put into so much work to figure out what's true and what's not. Um, so my first impression when that happened was big deal. Um, I just don't feel concerned about it in any way. Probably fake. You know, Trump can't run that fast, so it's not like it's not like they're going to have the shooter anywhere near him. Um, and then we did see that he fell as well. So um, now, who was involved? How was it orchestrated? Was it actually real? And Trump just didn't look surprised because he's just mentally not all there. So he's not going to look surprised anyway. You know, is he sick enough that he has no clue what's going on most of the time? Is he drugged up enough that he doesn't know what's going on most of the time? I don't know. Entertainment purposes only. These are just my thoughts running through scenarios. Um, there's different things that could be going on with him. Um, I was watching Judy and Sabrina last night, and Sabrina mentioned something um, that I guess I had thought of before. That not that Trump is an idiot, because I don't think he's an idiot. Well, he's not book smart, like Judy was saying, and I definitely 100 agree with that. Oh, jeez. But I think he's grifter smart. So, like, he's not a complete idiot. He knows how to plan things. He knows how to make things go his way. He has his little art of the deal, basically art of the grift, where he knows how to get things out of people without giving them something in return. That's what he's good at. Um, so he has some sense of smartness to him, but it's not a smartness for good, I guess. It's a smartness for evil. He doesn't have superhero smartness. Um, all right. So what should I ask? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask. Let's see. Let's see. I guess give me an overall, and then spirit guides give me an overall a plan for that night. What was the plan? Was the plan actually to have this happen, or was the plan for Trump to just sit there and yell at the press and nobody knew this was actually going to happen? I mean, this guy was a guest in the hotel, so you would think they had better security going on. They didn't have better security going on because they could have just said, well, the worse security we have, the more of an argument we have for the ballroom. So there's lots of different things that could be going on. Oh, we could also look at how supporters view him currently. Oh, that's a good one too. I'm gonna do that one after this. I keep hitting the thing. All right. So let's do 6 cards. What was the plan for that night? The actual plan. Temperance, strength, the sun. Wow, there's a lot of a lot of major arcana. The 9 of Pentacles, money, money, money. The 9 of Wands. Oh, I love this 9 of Wands with the people on the. Okay. And the Ace of Wands. Ugh. Ugh. So what I love about the 9 of Wands card here is not only because it has a cat in it, but also because it has people on a bridge that looks like a rowdy crowd, right? They look like they are ready to storm the castle or they're going after Frankenstein's monster or something like that. So that's interesting. Nine of Pentacles. This is my like inheritance money card. They look at all. She grew a tree full of pentacles and she's just collecting them. She has a nice little sash. When I read about royalty, a lot of times this is like the queen for me, especially when I read about Charles or Andrew. Um, so somebody wanted to collect some money. I wonder if they're using that betting thing again. I forgot what it's called. Um, but they just charged a soldier for that for betting on what would happen in Venezuela. We have the sun cards. Suns are great cards, good cards. You have the sun rising, and you have this person who's riding a buck. He's riding a deer. Hmm, that's interesting to me. He's going towards the sun. We have strength card. This person is fighting a dragon. They have the infinity symbol on their shield, and they have a very nice braid. But she's actually not really fighting the dragon because she has her sword on the ground and her shield on the ground, so she is friendly with the dragon, like when we usually have the strength card with the woman and the lion. And then we have our temperance card. It's just a mill doing its job, working away. We have that calmness after the waterfall in the background, little stream, getting to work, fixing things, creating things. Oh, and then we have the Ace of Wands. So this Ace of Wands is really interesting because it's sometimes like the wand is lit and the smoke is going up towards the sky. But sometimes when I first see this, it looks like a lightning bolt. It looks like a lightning bolt hitting the wand. So but I think it's just smoke, but it just gives me that impression, like it could also be that as well. So it's yeah. So what was the plan? What was the plan? There was going to be a show of strength, and there was going to be kind of like shining a light on something. I don't know if I want to say this is Trump thinking that he was going to shine a light on the awful press, right? Oh, they're so terrible. I'm going to get them good. Like what's her name? Caroline Levitt, and she said shots would be fired. Yeah, okay. Okay. But instead, there was this angry mob. There was an angry mob. And there was a starting of that fire, right? There's a beginning of fire here. It's kind of like starting like new masculine energy, starting new enthusiasm, willpower, power, creative drive. So the way this is coming together for me, the plan was that Trump would show up and show strength and try to have this funny attack on the press like he likes to do. Somebody was also making money off of this somehow because grifters be grifting. That's what they do. So I think that this angry mob part, right? This nine of wands, this fire. Usually nines are like compassion or like tolerance. They can be like an ending to a cycle right before the tens. But I think this is like, I think in a way, this is saying orchestration because of the Ace of Wands after. It's like the plan was that he wanted to come in, he wanted to seem like he was calm, and he was going to come up with this strength of like, I'm so smart and I am going to say what I want to these people and talk about the press, blah, 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 blah. Some way I'm going to make money off of this because that's what I do. He's probably betting on something. Could have been orchestrated. So he knew it was coming, and that's what he was making money off of him. Somebody was betting in those betting things. I can't remember what they're called. Hi, Roman. And they wanted to make money off of it because he wanted something to happen. And I think it was orchestrated. I don't know if he knew exactly what it was that was being orchestrated because it's not like he was the one doing the orchestration. It was somebody else that he had do it so that in the end he could say, oh, have a new beginning of energy, have a new beginning of fire and masculinity, and say, oh, look what happened. This is why we need the ballroom. Look what people are coming after me. Oh my God, my poll numbers are going down. Got to do something. Right. So I think that's what he wants to happen from this. We'll see if it actually happens. I don't know. But I think that was the plan. I think the plan was he was going to act like he was the greatest person in the room, as he usually does. But he knew this was orchestrated. He put money on it so that he could make some money in the background or do something with the stock market, as he usually does. And then when this terrible thing happened, he could be like, look, this is why we have to have the ballroom. Look what happened. So I think there was something was planned. And it was a terrible plan. I mean, the guy was like not even close. But anyway, so and then he could also blame California in some way because the guy was from California and, got all those little things to it that he usually does. Yeah. So I think it was planned so he could make money, try to make himself look like a big guy, and then also say, "This is why we need the ballroom. Oh my god, guys, we need the ballroom." Not that they could have the correspondence dinner in the ballroom because it's not supposed to be at the White House. But you know. I saw that Megyn Kelly was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to hear another person saying that we shouldn't have the ballroom." I'm like, "Oh my Lord, your father must be turning in his grave." All right. So Jackie said, how do his supporters view him currently? And that's a good question. How do his supporters view him currently? How do I see how long I've been on in StreamYard? I don't see any numbers. I don't know. Ah, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Oh, I don't want to. Okay. That shouldn't be upside down. You can read these cards upside down. They do in the little book, it gives you advice on that. But because of I like to set it as panorama, I usually don't. I usually don't read these cards upside down. I just like doing those panoramas. So much fun. Um, yeah, Roman says nobody fires buckshot from afar. Yeah. Need to be close to that target. And Trump was far too calm. Yeah, I don't know if I think it was a mixture of him knowing that something was going to happen and also being on lots of meds. And of course, his dementia doesn't help either. It was probably all three. He's just walking through life. He don't know what's going on at all anymore, probably. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. How viewers support him currently. So how his supporters view him currently. So how does MAGA or the people that love him, love Trump, how do they view him currently? Let's do another 6 cards. All right. Let's see. We got 6 of Cups, little family there gathering flowers. The 6 of Wands. The 8 of Wands. That's also kind of like my energy card because of the candles. 4 of Pentacles. The Lover's card. And the Ace of Wands again. They really love him. Skid marks to the exit. You know what's funny? I like to watch those police cam videos on YouTube. And there is this lady who was like drunk as a skunk. And she was in a lobby of like, I don't remember what the hotel was, but they called the police on her because she was being an annoyance. And all she could talk about was like, I think she did name drop Trump a few times. And when they were arresting her, she started leaving a trail behind her of chocolate nuggets. And the police were like, "Can you stop defecating, please?" It just made me think of Trump. But that was hilarious. It's like, oh wow. And she was like that Florida tan that looked like she looked like a what do you call it? Leather. She looked like leather. It was a mess. Anyway, so we have, let's see, three sixes. We have three sixes, an eight, a four, an ace of wands. So loud as supporters see him. Six of cups, we have this family, little family collecting their cups, collecting their flowers, just going about their business. Looks like they're not paying attention to anything else that's going on around them. We have the six of wands. So sixes are usually like the calms after the storm. Kind of doing some self-care in a way. The wands, they do have that energy, that creativity, that drive. So I'm curious how that's going to fit into the rest of this. Eights are about abundance, prosperity, power, rewardly power. Um, what's interesting with the Eight of Wands on this card is that the candles are depleting, right? They're not. These have been. They were lit a while ago, and now they're depleting. So that's interesting to me. The Four of Pentacles in this deck is really interesting. You have a dragon. The dragon's kind of taken over the castle. You see all those shields on the ground. I guess that were pentacles. And I feel like the dragon kind of scared everybody away. Like, this is his riches, right? These are his pentacles. You can't have his pentacles. This is my house. This is my dragon. So that's kind of like Trump. Just it's funny because every time I have a four card, I kind of see Trump like with the was that the four of cups with the kid who is pouting all the time. Like, that's kind of like my Trump card as well. So this person is like, this is my these are my doubloons here. A lover's card. They see him as the ones that still love him. They love him. They love, 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 love him. They love him. They're not, the crazy ones are still crazy about him. But then you have that Ace of Wands again, a new beginning of fire. I think in a way, the people that really love him, they see this action that happened over the weekend and it's kind of started their fire for him again. Because the ones that really love him, they they don't really pay attention to what's going on. They're out in the field somewhere. They got their ears plugged with flowers. They're putting flowers in their ears. They're not listening, right? They still think everything's pretty great. They still think he's gonna, this is like this always reminds me of like a parade when you have things set up for him. But it's funny because nobody's there. Right? So they have in their mind that people love him and wherever he goes there's a parade, but there's nobody there. They're just imagining that. The power that they have for him, I think, is depleting. At least for the ones who aren't completely with their heads up their butts. You know, there is some power that's winding down, because I think they understand there are these are the people that are coming to terms and are losing their enthusiasm for him are the ones that see him as somebody who does not share. He has all the money, he has all the power, he's not sharing. The ones that are just off in la la land, they're staying off in la la land, but they may not actually be showing up for him that much, but they're still thinking that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they're probably still going to have this kind of ongoing, oh, he's so great. Oh my God, did you see? He was almost unalive. We have to burn the candle for him, right? But they're not all like that. I think this is saying that these ones here, the ones where, people don't show up in these cards, people don't show up in these cards, and people don't show up in these cards, but people show up in these cards. So there are the ones that still love him, that still think that they are collecting fantastic treasures because of him, but in reality, they're not. Nobody's really showing up. These people are depleting, and their desire, their enthusiasm for him, because they see that he's just a dragon who does not want to share his treasures. But these people that just love him, they're going to have like this, oh my God, we have to fight for him. So it's kind of like three different piles here of people. There are people that are not trusting him now. There are people that aren't paying attention, but they're also kind of not showing up for him. And there's the diehards who just think he's just the best thing ever. And oh my God, we have to keep him safe. So I think what this is saying is that there is cracks in the supporters, and they are breaking up into like different groups. So he is losing support. There's going to always be those that love him, but he is losing support. These people are like, they're in la la land, but they're not supporting him anymore because they're not showing up to the gathering, but they're not speaking out about it. These people are probably a bit more angry because they see the grift, and they're losing enthusiasm very quickly. These people will be forever Trumpers that just love him, love him, love him, love him, love him, love him. So I think that's good because there is that fissure going on, right? There is that breakup of his supporters. So thanks for that question, Jack. It's good. Good question. Good question. Roman said there's a write up on Facebook supposedly written by the assailant apologizing to everyone in some long but lame story. Does it sound like a story that somebody in Trump's administration tried to write and then they sent it to chat GPT and was like, make this sound good? And it still doesn't sound good? That's what I'm thinking. All right, all right. I don't know how long I've been on here. I should have opened like YouTube so I could check. But it's also getting really hot in the room that I'm in, and I'm getting hungry. So let's see. I want to do one more reading. One more reading. Let me open. I'm going to open YouTube for a hot second. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. Ooh, Linda's on with, well, it's not live, but Linda's on with Neffs. My channel, view your channel. Yes, please. Live. Ooh. Uh-huh. I still, 44 minutes ago. Okay. Time definitely goes by fast when you're live. Thank you guys for being here. It's fun. I'm always like, I'm not expecting to get like a bunch of people to show up, but I just kind of like doing it, and then I'll just post it later, and then people can watch it. One more reading, one more reading. Let's see, let's see. Oh, I did write something down in my little notebook, my little notebook of readings. What did I write down? Oh yeah, I did write down where is anonymous. Like they've kind of like disappeared, right? I'm gonna do a video on that because they're just like bye. Um, and then mail as a mail for the military. What's gonna happen? I know. Ooh, Jackie's gonna be live with Bobby at 5 p.m. Eastern. All right. Yeah, I don't know if you heard. I took the day off from work today, you guys, because I was not well last night. So that's really the only reason I'm on live because I'm not at work. But I did not feel well. Luckily, I am better now. Um, let's see. So, what was I going to read on? Oh man, I can't remember now. I was talking about the military. Okay. Oops. Oh, geez, Louise. So I'm going to read on what's what's going to happen with the U.S. military in May. I want to know if anything interesting is going to pop up. Um, this could be. Well, we'll see what the cards tell us. Sometimes I like to be vague because I just like to see what comes out in the card. What is going on with the U.S. military in May? What big things? What's churning to happen in May for the U.S. military? Okay, I got Six of Cups again. Oh boy, the Star, the Hanged Man. Oh boy, Nine of Cups. Oh, who's a little cute. Queen of Wands, and Two of Pentacles. So again, we got the Six of Cups. People collecting some flowers, doing probably what they need to do. It's kind of like a same old kind of thing going on there. And that's also six is their service, social responsibility, community. It's a nice peace and quiet after the crazy fives. So maybe that means like the military in Iran is or I should say the US military when it comes to Iran, things are quieting down. The star is always a funny card to me because I remember Nate has like those things where he's like, come talk to me and we'll talk about tarot stuff I guess it's for the members. And I just remember telling him, I was like, the star card to me is just so weird. Like it almost doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't mean anything to me, but it never jumps out as a good meaning for anything to me. It's so weird, but I know it is about like hope. So I think I have to go with it there. And what's nice about this one is it has a unicorn in it. And that's just nice. And the stars are nice. It's also a falling star though. So I wonder if that could mean something specific. The Hanged Man, I like. We have that. I think it's called a chrysalis. I think that there is. It's interesting because I like that they use this image as the Hanged Man because it's like there's a change going on, but right now not much is happening. There could be some thinking going on. There could be some, there's a change happening, but it's not happening quickly. Usually the hangman, you have somebody who's kind of in deep thought. The hangman is my favorite card because I just like the idea of just staying still and observing things. I enjoy that. So that's why I like the hangman. We have the Nine of Cups. We have a little kitty cat stealing some fish, which is nice because when I see the Nine of Cups, I think of this little fish having a lot to eat. Um, and I'm hoping that this means that when it comes to the U.S. military, they won't be stuck on those rations anymore because it's awful. So hopefully this means that something good happens, especially amongst the Strait of Hormuz, and they will no longer be having to ration their food. I'm hoping that's what it means. Um, because of the comfort that comes from cups, I feel like this cat is very comfortable. Then we have the Queen of Wands. So we have this person who is walking along with all the animals, right? There's a snake, there's a kitty cat, there's a squirrel, there's butterflies, there's birds, there's like a salamander, I think, over there. So the Queen of Wands, right? We have wisdom, we have the female energy again. Walking with all the animals, there's like a unity here because they're walking with all the animals. Um, there's a drive, there's a willpower, um, but there's also like the masculinity because of the wands. And when I think of drive, willpower, fire energy, that does kind of make me think of the military. And because it's next to the Nine of Cups, this feels to me like somebody within the military who has that leadership and who is wise kind of helps to either show the plight of the military or get people what they need. Right? Military right now is not getting the resources they need. I think this person is going to help with that. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. I just love this card because it has cats. And it has these two little kitty cats, and they have pentacles on their collar, and they're walking along a fence, and they look like they're hanging out. They look like they're having a good time to me. Twos are about making a choice, and then the pentacles are about that protection as well as like finances. So is there a choice being made? Is there a stabilization? I think this is like a stabilization of money when it comes to the military. So for me, this doesn't say that Trump's going to get tons of money like he wants for the military. I think this is saying that the money that is going to the military will actually be distributed correctly so that the military will have the resources that they need. Um, and I taking the star as that hope card to show that good things are coming. Um, the hangman, there's a little bit of, hanging out, waiting for the good things to happen, but there is that change happening, right? This guy's going to turn into a butterfly. So I think that's good. I think these are actually very good cards for the military in May. And it's showing to me that there's going to be kind of like a gathering of resources. It's going to be hopeful. Good things are happening. It may take a little while, maybe towards the end of May. But luckily, there'll be somebody who is in charge, who is wise, who has good leadership qualities to convince the administration to actually hand out the money where it's needed so that there's a better balance. So that's what these cards are saying for me. So I hope so. Fingers crossed. I hope that's correct. So yeah. So I'm gonna go now because I'm getting hungry. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for liking and subscribing. You can share as well. I see 3 people are watching, and I think one of them's me. So thank you so much, Jackie and Roman and whoever maybe stopped by while I didn't notice. That was a lot of fun. And see Jackie later. She's going to be on at 5 p.m. Are you going to be on Bobby's channel or your channel, or are you guys going to be like a collaboration? Let me know. But everybody stop to see Jackie. I don't know if Roman's still here, but Roman, if you're up to anything as well, you can always leave a comment. You can always leave a comment at the video. Okay, Jackie says it'll be streamed on my channel too. Okay, so let's all see Bobby and Jackie You can go to either one of their channels, Jackie B Readings or Wild Raven Tarot, I believe. That's 5 p.m. Eastern, right? Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern. All right. Thanks you for coming by, everybody. I'll see y'all later. Bye.